And it's always good for us to consider, why do people want to go into self-employment? What are these pros? What are the good things about being self-employed? It's very rewarding. So you can set your own working hours. You can decide when, where, and how to work. For instance, you can work from home. You can use your skills and talents and be more creative. You can do what you love. You can focus on the area where you love, and you can work within your values. You're making money for yourself. You're not making money for somebody else. But that being said, there's no shortage of challenges. But we want to pick on the 5 that are most common. So as you're considering to go into self-employment, it's a good place you can go, but it's good to be cautious. Those who've been there have learned a few things. And the number one challenge you're going to face is that you have no guaranteed income. You have no steady paycheck. When you work for somebody else, you are guaranteed a pay each month. But when you work yourself, it doesn't work that way. Some of the bigger risk of being self-employed is not knowing how much money you take home. You got bills that you need to pay, but you're not certain of how much money you take. And in fact, for a lot of startups, the business itself may not give you money for a while. It's just taking in your money. And there are lots of potential costs that await you when you get into self-employment. So you have no steady income, but you have a lot of costs that are going to go there. You might be having things like goodwill that you have to pay. You have to build infrastructure. Even if you take just a simple shop, you need the shelves and the tables and everything. You have licenses that you have to pay for, You have equipment that you have to purchase. You will have working tools. You have to hire staff. And there are a lot of other overhead costs. And many times you will have to consistently do what we call cash infusion into the business. You have to bring in money into the business. You have no steady paycheck. You have no guaranteed income. Yet you have all these outflows that are coming through. And that's why it is important to plan for this before you venture into that line, because that can be a very, very serious risk that you face. Now, the second challenge is that you have to work. When you are an employee in an organization, you're given a specific job description. You really do something outside what you've been assigned to do, except in cases where it becomes necessary. As a person who is self-employed, you're in charge of the business, and you must put in a lot of effort to make sure that your business works. In self-employment, there's practically nothing like working hours. There is nothing like overtime. You have to do multitasking. You will have to care for all sorts of things like bookkeeping. You have to do your banking. You have to think about social media and how you run your social media campaigns. In other words, there's a lot to learn and do. The third challenge is actually the pressure from the family. Because the main reason of going into self-employment is maybe to be able to meet some or most of your family needs. But at the initial levels of your business or your startup, your family is likely to feel the weight of your decision. Because your new business will take time. And then you're going to find yourself unavailable for the family sometimes. You're supposed to drop children at school, but you have this very early appointment, so you need somebody to cover up for that. That creates a lot of pressure for you, and in turn could lead to more devastating health if you don't take care of. So that family pressure is real and cannot be ignored. It's something you have to think about. How do I work around that? If you don't get family support, the business is not likely to go far. When you're newly self-employed, you will have fear. Is it going to work? What can I do to improve my business? What if the economy turns the other way? How will that affect my business? And these questions may create fear in a self-employed person, and they leave them in a state where they sometimes regret having to make this decision. Why did I make this decision? That fear is a very common thing that gets a lot of people to fear moving out, to get into that space. This is where now we're saying you must start building support network. This is where sometimes you require a mentor. And support does not have to be money all the time. Support sometimes is just understanding. And they help you to sound your ideas, they give you ideas, and they don't criticize what you're doing. They can challenge you, but not criticize you. So let's see the fifth challenge. And this is actually about government policies. Since your business will be operated within the republic, within the county, the policies of government will actually affect the way you do business. You can never be certain where government will take things. Things change, and sometimes they change quickly. You're in this given line, and the government changes policy, and maybe they ban something in what you're doing. And that's why we say you must keep yourself aware. This is where now you have to belong to industry associations. You have to get to know what is happening. You have to watch what others before you are doing, so that you can actually be able to know, how do I respond if things come this way? So at a personal level, we see their rewards and their challenges in self-employment. To decide if self-employment is right for you, you have to think about your personal situation, including your financial resources, your commitments, your family responsibilities, your personal support systems, and the local labor market. So you need to ask yourself simple questions. How long can I afford to stay with an unstable income? How much do I care about the benefits that I get from my employer? Can my partner support me for a while I'm building myself? Do I have a product or a skill that I'm bringing to the marketplace? Do I have any business knowledge? Am I willing to work hard and take full charge of my success? Do I have the right financial intelligence and aptitude? Just those questions. If you answer those questions, you'll be very clear which direction to go. So instead of diving into business and making mistakes, I think it would be better to equip yourself before you dive. We need to better ourselves. Exactly. And one way of bettering ourselves is investing in our knowledge. If you just send a message to 0708 150-137. Just indicate come and see. It's free. It's a virtual class. You take it from the comfort of your house. We're not charging you for those 2 hours.